Hey there, how's it going? What is up, everybody? Irish Orangutan is back to pass along what you need to know to get better at Madden and grow your Mutt team. Enjoy the show. We are back today. I do have a little bit of time in this game against the dreaded Cowboys to talk to you about what will be coming next year in Madden 20. I'm going to be talking about Playbook and some of the things that will be coming with that. RPOs are the really big piece that will be coming along with signature animations, X Factors, and in the zone sort of things that will be coming along with those X Factors, along with superstar abilities as well. So the first thing that I did want to get into was the playbook. These playbooks they kind of discussed would be upgraded throughout the year and would be things we would be able to kind of see change and update as better things in. That is a little bit scary as things continue to um, be a little bit easier to break in the game. So that is a little bit nerve-wracking, and I hope that does not happen. But along with those RPOs, those are two things that could lead to a lot of negative things that do come in the game. But if they are able to do it correctly, it will be a huge, huge boost. Something that will be huge for Chiefs fans are touch passes that are going to be coming. I know Tyreek Hill probably doesn't make you the happiest Chiefs fan right now, but if you think of him or Sammy Watkins coming across and getting one of those touch passes from a Mahomes, that can be absolutely huge for your team. So I'm really excited that will be coming into the game. Along with those sort of plays, RPOs is another big piece they have been talking about. So I'm very excited to see what those are going to be able to bring. They did talk about three of those: an alert, a peek, and a read. An alert will be a run-based play, but if you have a slant run on the opposite side of a stretch and you see that coming open, and it will be open more so than the stretch would be, you can hold that button of the wide receiver instead of holding A like you would on a normal read, and then you could take advantage of that in that way. So that is something that could be really exciting and is something that you could potentially take advantage of in situations like this on the goal line. A peek is a read with one defender, so that is more closely associated with something you would normally think of with that. It'll just be a running back and a quick pass, but you'll be holding A and then you'll have to then push the button to pass to the next player. And then a read is not something they went into as much detail with, but that'll be something that'll be more closely related to a triple option. And it does look like Julio Jones went out of the back of the end zone. Hopefully that's something they can work on a little bit towards next year, because when you're making a read on the other side of the field, you can't always see that player doing that. Of course, if we cannot pass this into the end zone, we can always kick that field goal as well. So hopefully we do not make that mistake on this next play. The next thing that I did really want to talk about were signature animations. So players that are very good are going to continue to stand out more and more. So that is very exciting. Hopefully players like Le'Veon Bell, who catch very well out of the backfield, will not drop passes like that. They did talk about Alvin Kamara being a player that would not drop some of those things so that could be something. You get him in the zone, and then you're able to make that play and potentially take your team to the Super Bowl and not have to worry about pass interference plays that should not have happened. The next thing are the X Factors. This will be built into each player. They did talk about Mahomes being the only one having the bazooka, so hopefully that will be based on specific players, and players like John Elway, Brett Favre will have specific different things that they can potentially do. That is very exciting. You will have to be able to get in the zone to use those specific X Factor abilities, so I'm very excited to get into a little bit more detail in this next game. And we finished up the last game discussing getting it in the zone potentially with some of these players and some of those things you could potentially do. Mahomes, again, has a bazooka. Something you have to do for him is throw 4 passes down the field of 30 yards, complete them, and then you'll be able to get in the zone. At any point in time, you can get out of the zone by taking a sack or throwing an interception. So that is something that will be difficult to get to. So hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of that, but those games will be few and far between. They did say something that could occur about once a year. I think 16 games. So once a season, more or less. So that is something that is very exciting. Um, Donald on the other side of the ball was the player that they had talked about being able to counteract some of those things that Mahomes is able to do. So defenders are going to be able to move the pocket more, and you will have less time, similar to that situation, to maneuver the pocket and get the ball out. So that is something that should scare quite a few people who love to run to the sideline, but they did show how Mahomes and players like Cam Newton can take away the buttons and then sprint behind line of scrimmage, spin, and then get control of those again and throw the football. So that could be something that could be taken advantage of in bad situations, or it could just be something that could be balanced with other things that are happening in the game as defenders get quicker to being able to get to you. Hopefully he stops at some point. So players that don't even necessarily have Fearmonger are going to be able to be better at getting at the quarterback. Clinton Olenberg also sent out a tweet in regards to how people are able to keep the quarterbacks in the pocket, and he did say quarterback contains were in check, and he signed it or initialed it himself. So I am excited to see the Vicks and Mahomes and Cam Newtons of the world be contained slightly better and allow other quarterbacks to potentially take advantage of those situations or just see other quarterbacks in head-to-head from time to time. And beyond in the zone of abilities built into players and seemingly will take place of I'm wondering if those are things that will be able to be added onto players or will come just kind of stock like they had in previous years. You will have to get particular players if someone who has or something like that. But they did show how Mahomes had quite a few of those, and they were built based on what type of. So he is able to throw behind or not back. He has not quite done that yet. He could throw with his left hand, and he can throw without looking. I do not believe they have built in the left-handed throw quite yet. They do have Vic already switching to his right hand as he's getting sacked sometimes, so I'm wondering if they will be able to switch that in at some point here very soon. But that is something that is very exciting and will continue to make games different from player and different opponents that you are playing. Computer-generated games will hopefully feel a little bit different. It is something that they have strived for stat-wise and trying to change the way certain players are able to do things on the game. And now there's going to be a way for those players to actually play differently outside of their attributes and outside of those hopefully red chems. Hopefully those little intricacies will actually come through, and Madden 20 will be a little bit of an add-on from this real player motion and will make it even more realistic and maybe not give the one cut quite the juice that it does have. But that is what we do today regarding Madden 20 updates. I am very excited about the playbook and those updates that are coming and the way players are going to feel different from one another, and those superstars are going to stand out even more. That is what we have today. Let me know what you're most excited about. I think coming up, I'm going to go through the things that I'm most looking forward to in Madden 20. Let me know if there are any things that I have yet to discuss or that you have yet to hear from me that I should be adding to that. Take care, everybody. Thank you for checking into the Irish Orangutan channel. Keep coming back for more Madden knowledge. There will be consistent videos up every week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to see them all. Come by Twitch to engage and hit me up on Twitter at Irish Orangutan. Take care and much love, everybody.